Did we just see an October surprise? Did we really see Joe Biden help Donald Trump win over Kamala Harris in the 2024 election? We'll see in this video.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Basically calling Puerto Ricans trash.
The most repulsive racial jokes about Latinos.
Disgusting and hateful.
So incredibly crude.
Frankly, just too X-rated to play here.
Extremely vile so-called jokes.
Can you just address the president's comments yesterday referring to Trump supporter as garbage?
A couple of things. So just to clarify, he was not calling Trump supporters garbage.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
Which is why this is why he wanted to make sure that we put out a statement that clarified what he meant and what he was trying to say.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
And so just want to make that very clear for folks who are watching. And I just want to read that out to folks. So he was regarding to the comedian, and I quote, "I referred to the hateful rhetoric about Puerto Rico spewed by Trump's supporter at his Madison Square Garden rally as garbage, which is the only word I can think of to describe it. His demonization of Latinos is unconscionable. That's all I meant to say. The comments at the rally don't reflect who we are as a nation." And to your question, your other question that you asked, no, he does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
I want to put it into a larger context of your recent comment comparing the Sunday Trump rally to a Nazi rally. And I would also throw in there Obama's bitter clingers, guns and religion comment from a while back, the deplorable line from Hillary Clinton's campaign, and the way that Democrats are seen by some voters as disrespecting them. And I have to ask, does that undercut this closing message of unity from your campaign?
No, certainly not.
Biden said that he's talking about the comedian, not supporters. What's your response?
My response is that the first statement from Joe Biden is the one that he truly believes. He does not think that people who disagree with him or his party, who support President Trump, are Americans. He thinks that they're garbage. That's a fact. And the reason, what I go back to is 4 years ago, around this same time, it was Joe Biden that went on the Breakfast Club, and he famously said that if you couldn't vote for him, then you weren't black. It's the same Joe Biden, made the same type of statement 4 years ago. So this is consistent with who he is.
Hey, though, Bakari,
with certain demographics.
He was in his house, the White House. He was in his house doing this, and the reporting is that there are places that he could be useful, but he's not everywhere, like you might expect a sitting president to be for his vice president.
I don't know that I would expect this president to be everywhere in this moment. I mean, look, a critical element, any coach will tell you, any CEO will tell you, a critical element of running a team and winning is assessing the strengths and weaknesses of your team members and making sure you allocate them in the right way. Joe Biden has never been a big arena speaker. He's never been the most fluid speaker. And by the way, as someone who had a stutter growing up, it's very obvious to me that there's an apostrophe at the end of supporters there. He was referring to the garbage spewed by supporters, not simply the supporters themselves. But Joe Biden has been on the campaign trail. He's best getting ice cream in Maryland like he was today. He's best showing moments of empathy in Arizona like he was last week. He's best with union folks as he was in Pittsburgh last week as well. You use people where they are best. You put Obama in a big arena, you put Michelle in a big arena, and you put Joe Biden in front of a bunch of union people doing retail politics.
You could make the argument that they would be fine if Joe Biden wasn't anywhere near a microphone between now and next Tuesday.
Let me just accept the most charitable framing of this, which you just gave. Why is he sitting in front of a laptop at the exact same moment Kamala Harris is out on his backyard trying to give the closing argument to her campaign? What in the world is he doing? Now, I don't accept your framing of it personally because I actually do believe he, Harris, the Democratic Party, and most of their campaign do believe that half the country is garbage. They've also said people who go to Trump rallies are Nazis. And so it's pretty apparent the disdain with which they hold half of the country in.
That's not true. The party already litigated it in Kamala's speech tonight.
But as a tactical matter today,
No, but you don't just get to say
why
that.
in the world is Joe Biden giving remarks at the same
I
time
can
as Kamala
answer that.
Harris?
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
When the White House is trying to say that what President Biden was saying, they're putting an apostrophe there in supporters, saying it's the singular, I guess referring to the comedian, that supporters comments. I mean, it's hard to really look at that when you can listen to it for yourself.
Puerto Rico, where I'm in my home state of Delaware, they're good, decent, honorable people. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
The only garbage I see out there are his supporters.
No, it is the deplorables moment again. I'm really surprised he said that, because when you're called human garbage, it motivates you to get off your rear end, off the sofa, and go and vote. I wouldn't do that in the 43 counties where people are saying, it may be raining, I don't think I'm going to do it. But the President of the United States just called me garbage. I'm a little pissed off about that. I think I'm going to go stand in line and I'm going to vote. I think that was a mistake, and I'm sure it's going to get a ton of social media tomorrow. I mean, I know he wishes he could take that back. He is the president of all that garbage. Remember, he represents everybody, including the garbage. I mean, that's crazy.
Yep, that is crazy. He's crazy. This race is crazy, and it's 7 days away until Election Day. And apparently O'Leary's going to wait in line to vote right now.
Here with reaction, former 2024 GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy. You know, I just want to go to this Joe Biden clip for a second here, because if you remember, Hillary Clinton said irredeemable deplorables. Obama said bitter Americans that cling to their God, guns, Bibles, religion, to that effect. The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters. You know what's interesting? Aren't they really calling Trump supporters Nazis when they call him a Nazi? And aren't they saying that his supporters are fascists when they say that as well?
Look, here's the October surprise. It just arrived. This is the basket of deplorables moment. That's what Hillary Clinton said in 2016 that tanked her campaign. Well, that's the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris moment right now. I am a little bit more cynical about this one, Sean, in the following way. It might look like Joe Biden's usual cognitive deficits kicked in, but the reality is we know his family is secretly probably rooting for Donald Trump, not Kamala Harris, to win because they feel really vengeful about how they were treated. So if you're in their shoes, you know that kind of comment is actually going to tank Kamala Harris. So we're going to put those kinds of motivations to one side. But regardless, it is a welcome October surprise, because let's take a big step back. What's going on here? The wheels are coming off.
Will Joe Biden's garbage comment impact the 2024 election? Well, I guess we'll know next week. It'd be interesting to see what happens, and that is no garbage.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden.
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
He just called us all garbage. Look, you can call me garbage, Joe Biden, if you want. I'm out there hammering away. But don't you talk about American citizens like that. Don't you talk about hardworking people, carpenters and bus drivers, doctors and lawyers, teachers and firemen, police officers. These are all supporters of President Trump. Members of our military. Are they garbage? How dare you?
The only garbage I see floating out there is his supporters.
This sums up the arrogance of the Democrat Party. They don't support America. They don't support Americans. Joe Biden called us all garbage. Think about that as you head to the polls. He's the one who picked Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris bumped him out. And he calls us garbage. You know what? Screw you, Joe Biden. Screw you, Kamala Harris. I'm done. I'm done with them. No more tolerance left whatsoever. Don't ever call our people garbage. We're the greatest human beings on the face of the earth. That goes for Democrats and Republicans. This country is awesome. The people in this country are awesome. And you as president ought to know that.